Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Gulfstream Park here on Sunday. It's the 24th of December 2023. I'm going to look at the sixth race from Gulfstream, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it, around the world. Let's look at the sixth race from Gulfstream, which is the H. Allen Jerkens Handicap. It's going for a purse of $100,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going to the Gulfstream Park turf course, the distance of ground of 3,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 2 miles on the Gulfstream Park turf course. 3,200 meters, 2 miles here. And it's going to be starting, if you go by this diagram, it's going to be starting in the infield lake at Gulfstream. It's been about 20 years since they had that chute, and I think they should bring back that chute, because I missed years ago, going back about 20 years now, when the old Gulfstream Park, they used to run a lot of those mile and 1/8 races on the turf out of that chute, and those were some very exciting finishes, kind of like the mile and 1/8 races at Aqueduct on the inner turf course, mile 16th races, where you just always have those exciting finishes. You always need a good trip on that old Gulfstream Park turf course. Hopefully, with all the turf renovations they're doing, maybe they could bring that chute back. But that's on my wish list. But just keep in mind with this race here, if it's run off the turf on the Tapeta, it decreases in trip to a mile 5/8. So last year they had the decrease of trip. Last weekend, when this race was originally scheduled, when they got the monsoon of rain all week, it was actually originally scheduled for the Tapeta, or scratched off the Tapeta to scratched off the turf to Tapeta. There we go, third time's charm. And it was run out the. It was supposed to be run on the Tapeta, but when they had to cancel because the rain just came in bucket loads at the end of the card. Since they had to cancel, they're running it today, which I think is a good one. But we need more of these long distance races here in this country. Maybe next year they could bring like more of these kind of races, like maybe move that Bruce Cup Marathon race to whatever they call it, Thoroughbred Alliance race now, and maybe move it to turf at 2 miles. I think that would be good for these kind of horses, but we'll have to wait and see. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the 7-horse F5. I'm going to go 7-3-5-1 in the superfecta. 7-3-5-1 super. Top selection 7-horse F5. This 4-year-old gelding by Not This Time. Brian Lynch trains. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came mid-November at Churchill. A mile and 1/8 on a good, softer side of good turf course in the Grade 3 River City Stakes, and the horse finished 10th by 4.5 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked and never quickened up. He was very flat that day. It wasn't his day to win. I think coming here to a longer trip, second off the bench, which I think he's been crying out for, he should get a better trip to win here today. 2 back in late August at Ellis, a mile and 1/8 an optional 50 claimer. He finished second by a half a length that day, and he sat on the front end. He got caught in the. He sat on the front end that day. I'm looking at the wrong card. Excuse me. He sat on the front end that day. He almost got caught on the front end, but when he quickened up, he gamed it out to the wire. I thought that was a very good effort with an 85 buyer. And then mid-May at Churchill, mile 3/8 an allowance race, 100,000, won by 3 3/4 lengths that day. He stalked, he quickened up nicely from a horse that was going out in front early on, and he got the job done going away with an 88 buyer. And then even off the bench at Keelan over the mile and 1/8 in April. First time on turf, he finished second by a nose, and he ran his heart out that day. Coming to a longer trip, I like him a lot. I think the 3-horse 6- for Irider Tees Jr. and Tom Pletcher could get a trip to win. Tom Pletcher, I think, is one of the best trainers in this country with long distance horses, and this horse has proven that he could win over long distances on turf, going to like a mile and a half, which he actually won on this turf course in February in option 35, winning by 3 lengths, closing up from nowhere. He was drifting late, but he went away with it. That was his last victory. After that, they ran him in a very tough race at Keelan over the mile and a half, where he finished 6th by 4 1/4 lengths. The winner, the Grey Wizard, very good horse, I believe, for Grand Motion, took off clear. English Conqueror is a decent horse also. This horse was just wide and needed the race there. And then at Monmouth, he ran in a starter handicap 2 back, where he just needs something more, but I didn't think he ran half bad. And then a decent return to the races on the Tapeta locally in mid-November. His races recently haven't been half bad. Back to a turf course he likes running on. I'll give him a shot. And even the 5-horse here, McLovin, he actually went over the flat of Far Hills in Jersey quite nicely on soft ground in October, and had a decent third in the Colonial Cup over the mile and a half at Colonial over the summer. Coming here today, he's proven he can win over the longer trip. I'll give him a shot here, a 5-2 on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the 6 from Gulfstream, it's the H. Allen Jerkens Handicap. Gonna take the the 7 horse F5. Give kudos to the 3 horse 6 minus and the 5 horse McLovin. 7351 Super, 735 in the multi race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.